All right, loves. So this reading is going to be seeing what this new moon is going to bring us. So it's a classic pick a card. I want you to also use your intuition here and pick whichever pile feels like it's meant for you, right? So we have pile number 1, pile 2, and pile number 3. So I just want you to sit with that for a moment and see what you're drawn to. Don't second guess yourself. Just really go with what feels right for you. And then I will put the timestamps below as to when each pile's reading begins. So if you do want to skip ahead, if you're pile 2 or 3, you can check that out in the description box below. Like I said, this is for the new moon, so that's going to be on May 19th. We also have just exited eclipse season and had a ton of changing transits, a lot of energy shifting around us. So this is going to be a big one. We're going to see what we are calling in to this next chapter and what we can expect moving forward throughout the rest of the month and honestly the next couple months. All right, so we're going to get started with pile number 1. I'm going to move these 2 off the screen for a few. All right, pile number 1, we have 7, patience and planning. 6, victory and success. I'm feeling like pile number 1 is heavy on work and career. Okay, I'm going to speak on these 3 first to start. So we have 3 solar plexus chakra as well. Also in here, we have this yellow glow of the solar plexus chakra. So a lot of ideas have been ruminating for you about career and work. And I feel that you haven't really had clarity on which direction to go, right? You have a lot of potential things that you could be doing. It feels a little overwhelming. You're like, oh, I have too many options and I just don't necessarily have the clarity as to what is best for me. So with patience and planning, Spirit is really asking you to find time in stillness, find time alone, to begin to kind of visualize what your ideal life looks like, okay? To start with that, and not particularly with the work aspect, but what does your ideal life look like? And then from there, you can visualize, okay, well, what type of work and what type of things am I producing that have built this life? Okay, so we're going to start the visualization by taking off pressure about exactly what we're doing for work, and instead we're going to find a quiet space, close our eyes, be away from distractions, and really visualize, what does my ideal life look like? Okay, what spaces am I in? What are my day-to-day habits and routines? Who are the people that I'm hanging around? What are some of the activities that I'm doing? Okay, maybe you find in this visualization you're living in a completely different space. You are in a different home base, maybe a different state, country. And then from there, like I said, as you move through the visualization and you've really pictured, full picture of what that looks like, you can start to think about what work is going to bring that to me, okay? I do see, this is heavy on entrepreneurial for me, so I do see a lot of you exploring different avenues that you haven't done before. Maybe it's going back and looking at things that you've tried in the past, and now that you have a new outlook and a new perspective, trying to improve them, doing them in a better way, okay? So how can you upgrade what you're doing? How can you change what you're doing? And being really mindful of what's draining you and what feels really, really good to you when you think of this, okay? Because it is necessary to get a plan sorted out for this year. Because if you're just trying a bunch of random things and they're not going anywhere, you definitely have to get a little organized with that. But we can't get organized unless we know what it is that we want, right? We know what we're working toward. So it's definitely important to figure out your why behind all of this. Victory and success, though, definitely shows great success in this area, and then also a growing of your confidence. So there might be a little bit of self-worth issues coming forward at this time to be healed, so that we can get to the clarity of knowing what we want to do in this lifetime and the success that comes with it, okay? So if you're feeling at all imposter syndrome, or, oh, there's so many people already doing what I want to do, or more successful in it than I am, or, you know, maybe I should have started this a year or two ago and now it's too late. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There is no better time to start than now. If you're wishing, oh, I started a year ago, 2 years ago, start right now, right? Don't let that be the reason for you not choosing a path, I'm hearing. The only reason you shouldn't be choosing a path is because it doesn't light you up and excite you, right? So be really mindful of the no's and the limits that you're placing on yourself and the why behind them, okay? Are these limits placed because you genuinely don't want to go after something and it doesn't feel exciting to you? Or are these limits placed because of your own fears, because you don't think that they'll work out, because you think that you will fail? Okay, those are great questions to ask yourself. And then we have conflict and defeat. I'm going to pull another one with that. And rest and rejuvenation. So there will be some bumps in the road in this next chapter of your life as you try to sort out your path, as you try to sort out, where am I going? What does that look like? What am I doing next? A lot of it is mental conflict for me too. Not that you won't have conflicts outside of you that kind of push you in different directions, people kind of telling you what they think is best for you. But again, we have this yellow glow, which is just confirming the solar plexus for me even more. So for me, the conflict is coming through more as conflict in your confidence, in your self-worth, again, pushing you into a particular direction. So really try to catch yourself if you're doing that. Catch yourself if you notice that you're talking down to yourself or talking yourself out of something that you really do want, right? The sky is the limit. If you're feeling like called to a particular path for yourself, but you keep holding yourself back, you know, that's something you want to get to the root of. And the way that you're going to get to the root of that is taking time in solitude. 4 is also a foundational number. So taking time to rest, taking time for yourself to really get clear about what is my life path. Instead, looking outside of yourself and looking to other people to give you that clarity is not going to give you a fulfilling life, okay? That clarity has to come from within. That clarity has to come from you. So while we can look to other people for support, and community is very important for support, we don't want to be looking to them for the answers about what should I do next, okay? We don't want to look to them for the answers of what is my path? What do you think my path is going to be? Right? These people don't know. I mean, most people don't even know what the heck they're doing with their life. So we really should make sure that we're not putting so much emphasis on our choices in other people's hands. It's going to be really important. Okay, and I'm going to pull the last couple. We have 14, patience, 15, temptation. Oh, and 0, new beginnings. I love it so much. 14, patience card. So planting the seed and maybe not allowing it to fully grow. I'm hearing that some of you actually have already taken, you know, a ton of actionable steps towards something that you want, or you do have a good idea. Maybe you're just not allowing it enough time. You're expecting to just have this idea automatically be successful. You're not really wanting to be patient enough to see it kind of just grow naturally and evolve. And I'm here from Spirit. Sometimes great things just take time, okay? A lot of people, they're on the brink of success and they just give up. So to keep going, to keep doing what you're doing, and to really just make sure that it is intuitively aligned, like I was saying before, make sure it really feels good to you. So if you've been working on something that does feel energetically aligned and does really charge you up and make you feel good, and you can envision it growing and being better and providing more income to you, then to continue that path. And maybe it's more so about making minor adjustments, right? Adding in some little extras or tweaking the process a little bit, doing more research on successful marketing or ways that other people implement the work that you're trying to do, okay? 15, temptation, to make sure you are not being too critical of yourself, like I was saying before, to make sure you're not distracting yourself, to make sure you're not playing small at this time, okay? And also to not be too obsessed with the physical manifestation. Yes, we want to manifest money. Yes, we want to be successful. Yes, we want to have the life that we've been dreaming of and building. And those things are coming to you, but sometimes we cling so tightly to the outcome that we're not enjoying our day to day. So to remember that you're still a spiritual being in a human body having a human experience. You didn't come here just to be rich, right? You didn't come here just to work and be successful. That's not the entire point of this at all. And really ask yourself, what do these successes and what does this money that I'm seeking, what do I expect it to give to me? What feeling do I think I'm going to get from it, right? And it could be a feeling of security. It could be a feeling of, oh, I have more freedom to do what I want to do. I don't have to stress about paying bills, whatever that is for you. And there's nothing, again, wrong with seeking more money and seeking success at all. But just to make sure that that's not all you're seeking, right? You're enjoying your day-to-day. You're enjoying the beauty of life around you and just being alive. And then we have the 0 new beginnings. So this is like clean slate energy, taking the leap of faith. For those of you who have been maybe holding yourself back or not, taking a plunge into something that feels really exciting to you, this card is like, go for it. Take that leap of faith. You are supported. Like I said, exercise patience if it's not coming immediately, but take the leap of faith. We get one life in this body, in this point of time, and it's important to really go after the things that you want. It's fleeting, it's short, we never know if tomorrow's promised. So take that leap of faith and go after the things that you want. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? It fails. Well, it fails if you don't try also. Okay. So that was pile number 1. And I hope that gives you a little more clarity about what is to come for you this new moon and this next chapter of your life. All right. So let's look into pile number 2. I'm going to pull that one back down for you. So if you picked pile number 2, this one is for you. Let's see what we have going on here. This one feels already more family and relationship involved for me. So we have 6, third eye chakra, 8, positive movement forward, 3, fertility. Let's pull one more here. And 7, stand your ground. Okay, I am getting big generational cycles being broken here. So the way that you're living and the way that you've chosen to live your life moving forward has definitely challenged some people around you. This could be your family. This could be your long-term friend group. So you are choosing to live a very different life than a lot of people. And this could be in many aspects or all aspects, right? This could be how you decide to take care of your health. This could be how you decide to work, your work-life balance, the places that you live. Maybe it's moving away from your home state or home country and just living a completely different routine and lifestyle. So that is going to kind of trigger some people around you, because some people will take that personally, that maybe you disagree with how they live or you're casting judgment on it, when really it has nothing to do with that, right? You've just found your flow and what works for you. So to be really mindful and use your discernment, which you already have been doing, right? Because you're already stepping into and allowing yourself to create a life that maybe you haven't seen others close to you do. So that's taken some courage, right? But to continue to use your discernment if people cast any judgment or, envy toward you, that it really is having to do with them, and maybe they just feel, like I said, judgment because you are living so different than how they do. But honestly, that's like none of your business. At the end of the day, it's not your responsibility to navigate other people's inner world. So to continue to move forward, to continue to live the life that you want and the life that you are building for yourself, that you're the only one who has to live with the choices that you make, right? So you're feeling fulfilled, you're feeling really in line with your intuition lately, and to continue to follow that, it's only going to bring you amazing things. Then we have 3, fertility. So some of us might be welcoming an actual baby. people in your close-knit circle. I feel like birth is like heavy right now with this season. So new babies coming in, new life coming in, new energy coming into old relationships. Just this feeling this season for you of overall rebirth energy. So, you know, seeking and going after the things that you want, feeling like you're in a very fruitful season, to be honest. And I love that. Attracting great things for yourself, great relationships, and just overall abundance for yourself. So it's a beautiful season. I really do love this pile. Then you have 7, stand your ground. This to me is, again, just about any haters, people that maybe are just envious or jealous of you and your path that you're on. Just continue to stick to your guns. Continue to, you know, follow your intuition and go after it, what it is that you want. These people, honestly, are just going to have to learn, like, they have to accept where you're at and what you're doing, or the relationship is going to shift dramatically. And that they're not necessarily in competition with you. So this is more of an ego thing coming forward for me, and not really like a big danger to be prepared for or anything like that. Let's pull a couple more. 9, spiritual strength. And then 11, balance. That's not really fitting on here. I'm gonna move these over just a little bit. So 9, spiritual strength, 11, balance. In the past, I'm sensing that, you know, the weight of other people's expectations and what they want for you did really weigh on you. More particularly, like the role that you've had to be in your family dynamic, or the role that just sort of happened, right? Maybe you weren't aware. We usually fall into these roles at a young age. It could be caretaker, you know, just a caretaker is like the main one that's coming forward for me. So maybe you've had to deal and take care of other people, or you've taken responsibility for other people that really is not yours to carry any longer. So letting go of any codependent dynamics, letting go of feeling heavily responsible for other people when maybe you can't even fully take care of yourself, right? Because you're so worried about other people, and that's adding stress to your life, and not only your health and mental, but I feel like some of your pockets have been affected too, right? So some of you have had to maybe lend people money, or felt that you had to lend people money, and it didn't go the way that you wanted. It didn't feel appreciated. It didn't feel reciprocated at all. And it really just put a strain on the relationship. So discontinuing doing that, discontinuing feeling responsible for other people, and really focusing on your inner world. So if your outer world is feeling out of balance lately, that the best way to bring things back into alignment and feel peace is to focus on your inner world, right? Focus on these parts of you that feel any sort of obligation to other people, that feel any need to people please. That's something that we're really throwing out the window, so to speak. We are getting rid of any need to people please and moving away from that. So that's going to be really important this season as you continue to make these shifts. You're already doing it, okay? You're already doing it. So it's really more so about continuing on this path and confirming that this is the right path for you, if that makes sense. So let's pull the last couple. Ooh, 6, moving on. I love it. And 6, material and spiritual prosperity. Amazing. So 6, moving on, leaving the past behind, letting go of the baggage from the past. I mean, this is perfect for everything that's come up so far. So really feeling like you get to this point where you're not only recognizing that you've made shifts and have started to move on, but you really feel less of a weight from the past, less of this weight of other people's expectations. And you're going to start feeling that in your body, okay? So I feel like my shoulders opening back up, you know, kind of like your posture's getting better. You don't feel as bogged down by life and the people around you. Instead, you feel more of a balance in your relationships, and almost like the karma is balancing back out, right? So people that you've constantly given and given and given and given to, you've created boundaries, and the relationship has either evolved or you've taken a little space from it. But either way, you're not feeling as drained by these dynamics, and I love that. Then this material and spiritual prosperity, a little bit different than the rest of the reading I'm getting, is just feeling abundance also monetarily, abundance in your life overall. Like, this energetic frequency that you're putting out this season is calling in abundance, like I said, not just for your relationships, but all areas of your life. You'll begin to notice how when your inner world is balanced and you're really aligned with yourself, your needs, your wants, and you're putting that out there, and you're living in gratitude, and you're living in the moment, it opens up so many doors for you. It opens and brings you balance in all areas of your life, right? Not just your relationships. So really a beautiful season for you. And like I said, I already see you beginning these changes, beginning to notice the abundance around you. So it's really just continuing to stick to your guns, continuing to stick to your intuition and what it tells you, and trusting in yourself. I love it. This is beautiful. All right, so that was pile number 2. Let's see what we have for pile number 3. So if you pick this pile, this is going to be a reading. Let's see what we have going on for you. I'm going to pull a couple cards to start us out. So we have 21 universe. Sorry about that. Oh, and then 1 base chakra. This is heavy on the healing for me, this reading. 5 obstacles and challenges. Let's do 1 more. Yep, 2 sacral chakra. Okay, so this season, particularly this new moon, is big focused on healing generational trauma, healing old wounds. So childhood wounds, you might have some inner child things coming forward for you. Definitely recommended to do either some parts work or inner child work during this cycle, the end of this month, and really taking a look at these parts of yourself. So base chakra, right? This is our root chakra, and this is developed in our first couple years of life. So looking at our sense of security, this could be financial, but this also is a physical sense of security. So feeling supported by the world. Do you feel supported? Do you feel that you have everything you need, or are you living in scarcity, right? Not just a mindset. Some of us are like physically living in scarcity, obviously. So taking a look at that, and if it is mindset, looking at our old wounds, right? Looking at these wounds that we have of scarcity, of lack, of feeling unsupported, of feeling unloved, and really giving those parts of us a voice, okay? So if, we grew up maybe not having all of our needs met, feeling wounded by the people around us, feeling unsupported, to give that younger part of us a voice, to really listen to what it has to say, to see how it kind of manifests in our everyday life, and see, do we still need to carry those parts of ourselves, or do we need to have them have such a strong role and impact on our life? Or can we give them space to heal? Can we give them space to express to us why they feel the way that they do? All right, I don't know if any of you have done any parts work before, but it's really powerful work. Essentially, it's like, sitting with feelings of discomfort that you're holding. This could be anxiety, stress, tightness in the body, and then trying to figure out what age this part of us feels like. Okay, so say we have anxiety, we have tightness in our chest, for example. We would go to this part of ourselves and ask, okay, what age am I feeling when I look at this part? When I feel this feeling in all of its intensity, what age does that feel like? Okay? And what is it telling me? Why is it holding this pain? What pain is it holding on to? Does it feel unheard? Does it feel like, this part had to exist because of the circumstances that we grew up in, but maybe it doesn't feel heard, it doesn't feel fully safe. And what does it need from us, okay? Does it need something physically? Does it just need time maybe to connect with it here and there? So it's going to be different for everybody, but it's something I would definitely recommend looking into if this was your pile. Then 5 obstacles and challenges. So, this is really, these 3 are all tied in together for me. So you're going to be facing some healing in your inner world, some old wounding. Like I said, the inner child is really the main component coming up in this reading for me. So the obstacles and challenges are these old wounds and working to overcome them, working to give them a voice. So with 2, sacral chakra, this is not only our creative, our expressive energy, but we can hold here any sexual wounding. Also, this is just overall how we relate to others, right? So it's our one-on-one connections, our one-on-one dynamics. So looking at any wounding you might be carrying in that space, these areas are definitely going to be activated for you. So you might feel more triggered lately and just frustrated. Like, why am I feeling this way? Why are these old things coming up? And honestly, like, it is frustrating. It sucks to go through the healing phase sometimes, but just know that at this point in time, you are more supported than you have been in the past. I'm going to pull one more. 13 transformation. So you're just going through a massive transformation at this time. And this card is like being pushed into leaving the past behind. So it makes a lot of sense why we have these previously in the reading. A lot of the triggers, a lot of the pain and the purging, so to speak, that you're going to be doing is all leading up to letting you let go and creating more space and love and just like healing in your life. Okay. I feel like there's so much more out there for you that you're going to experience, especially toward, the summer and fall time. I feel like your life is going to open up in so many big ways. So if you are feeling emotional, if you are feeling like just kind of exhausted from the emotions and the healing, just know that it's really opening up so much for you. So to take the space that you need also to take care of yourself, to slow down, to rest, if you feel inclined to do so, because this is a big deal what you're going through, and this chapter is not going to last forever. So to take the time to be loving and gentle to yourself, you're not always going to feel this way, okay? And the 21 universe card, now I'm finally feeling called to speak on, is reminding you that you are connected to everything, okay? You are connected to the universe. You are supported by the universe. You are supported by your spirit guides, your gods, whatever that looks like to you. You do have the support that you need through these difficult times. This is something you're going to get through, okay? If you've been feeling depressed, hopeless, this is something you're going to get through. So seek help if you need help. Seek the support that you need if you need help, because, like I said, this isn't going to last forever. So don't assume, I'm not going to reach out. I'm not going to get the help that I need. Like, this is just something I have to live with. Because if you need the support now, take the support that you need. Don't feel like you can't do that, right? And when you do finally get into a better space and you do mentally feel better, you'll be happy that you did it. Let's see, what else do we have? 9, material harvest, 5, throat chakra, and another 9, solitude. So a lot of numbers of endings, completion, cycles ending. I absolutely love it. Material harvest is coming into a good amount of money and coming into overall abundance. So this is beautiful to me, particularly because we have this base chakra coming up. So for some of you that have struggled financially in the past and felt like you were very limited by your finances and the amount of money that you were bringing in, that chapter I do see ending for you. I love it. So all these worries that you're having about, I'm just going to feel this way forever. I don't know that I'll ever be quote unquote healed. And obviously, listen, we're going to have to heal. We're going to have healing and things like that the rest of our lives, right? There's no such thing as being completely healed, but you're really letting go of this old version of yourself, of this way of living and perceiving the world around you. And it's a big deal. Like, I don't want to not put emphasis on the fact that this is hard work that you're doing and it's amazing what you're doing. So don't, try not to feel down on yourself and compile any shame for these heavy feelings that you're feeling. This is how you're going to move on from them, is by feeling them and going through them. So you do have a ton of abundance coming at you as you go through this chapter. Like I said, more towards summer, I'm sensing this. And 5, throat chakra, I love this. So a lot of empowerment that you're going to get is going to be through speaking your truth, speaking up, maybe speaking up about things too. I'm hearing that happened in the past, right? Clearing the air with people, but also being honest, right? If there are things that you haven't said before, if you've kept them inside for fear of being criticized, or really I'm hearing like fear of being abandoned. There was a lot of fear around if I say XYZ or if I show this certain part of myself, I am not going to be accepted and loved. So that's something that the only way we're really going to work through is by slowly and step by step using our throat chakra to really speak up for ourselves. And to do it, you know, start even doing this with people that you do really love and have a good relationship with, because honestly, you're going to be surprised. Like, these people still love you, right? And your humanness, everybody makes mistakes. And, you know, everybody has differing opinions. Nobody is completely in this like blissful harmony all the time at all. And it's going to show you that conflict is not actually all bad, that some conflict is really good and actually deepens your relationships. Then last but not least, we have 9 solitude cards. So in this time of healing, you will be drawn to being in like hermit mode. You're going to be drawn to getting more comfortable with time alone. Maybe in the past you distracted yourself by keeping busy or hanging out with people when you were upset like all the time, you know, not wanting to be alone and really face it. So that's something you're going to be getting more and more comfortable with this season, right? Comfortable with your shadow side, comfortable with the wounding that you've gone through, okay? This doesn't mean you have to heal completely alone. You can 100% do therapy and communicate with the people that you love in your circle for support, but you are going to still become more comfortable being alone because, yeah, you're healing and facing these parts of you that you've been scared to. And sometimes it's like the mental blockage of just doing it that's harder than actually being in it, if that makes sense. Like, you've built up maybe in your mind it being such a big dramatic thing, but it actually becomes very freeing to you. I mean, this card is a beautiful card in the deck. So a lot of dramatic internal changes for you in pile 3, all bringing you beautiful, beautiful new path, new perspective, and more peace overall. So that was a great pile, number 3. I hope that these readings gave you a bit of clarity on what's to come for this new moon for you and can help bring you a little bit peace as well in the process.